This one's a really fun problem, but you've got to read the directions. Because I'll bet if you're making a mistake, maybe you're finding the volume of this shape, maybe you're finding the surface area of the entire shape. Neither of those things is what's being asked for. Read carefully. It says, how much glass is nearest the amount required for this design? Okay, so we're talking about surface area, but it's not surface area of the entire thing. It's glass for the exterior surfaces only. Okay, so we're looking for the surface area of the amount of the parts of the greenhouse that are really going to see the air. So we don't care about the floor. No one ever puts glass on the floor of a greenhouse. That would be a terrible idea. What we're looking for is, I'm going to break this up into shapes. There's one circle, right? The area of this circle right here, but really only half of it, because I only want the top half of that cylinder. The bottom half is going to be a rectangle, and we'll address that separately. So let's start counting up the different areas that I need. I need a circle area, okay, and really there's two of those, and there's only really one half of each. So I've got front, back, and each one is a half circle. Okay, so these are going to turn out to be pi r squared, where r, let's take a moment to think about what r is. R is the radius of this circle right here. See right there? Which is 8 feet. So this is pi times 8 squared. Okay, so we'll say that's 64 pi. I got a calculator right here. 64 times 3.14, which is about 201, roughly. Okay, so that's the area. Let's be real clear here. That's this area, and likewise, the same area on the back. Now, the next part of this that's hard is the roof. What that is really, well, how do we explain it? I'm going to take, let's talk about how you find this thing on a cylinder. Okay, here's a cylinder. If I know the circumference, right, that length around, and then I multiply the circumference by this length, that will give me the surface area of the tube, not counting the ends. Well, that's great. I only need half of that. So what I'm talking about here is 1/2 times the circumference of that circle. Now the circumference is 2 pi r. Okay. And then times the length, times the length of the greenhouse. So the 1/2 and the 2 cross out, and we get pi times 8 times 27. Okay, so let's see, 3.14 times 8 times 27 equals about 678 square feet. And now what's left, because I've just done the front and the back, and I just did this part right here, that surface, and now all that's left is the sidewalls. And those are pretty easy. I've got, see the sidewall that I'm drawing right here? I've got two of those, the front and the back. And that's going to be 2 walls times 16 times 10 feet high each. And I can do that in my head. That's just 320. And now I've got the other sides. So that's going to be 2 of them times 27 feet long times 10 feet high. I can do that in my head. That's 540. So all we have to do is add all these things up. So running out of time on this video, but let's see if we can crank this out. 201 plus 678 plus 320 plus 540, and we get 1,739. So how much do we need to buy if the glass only comes in quantities of 100 square feet? Well, if you rounded this to 1,700, I see what you're getting at, right? It is closest to 1,700, but the person who wants this greenhouse is not going to be happy when you run short by 39 square feet of glass. So in this case, what you're going to need is to round up to make sure you have enough glass to cover the entire thing. That'll be 1,800.